Hey, we're back again. Coon Prairie Ramblers. We got the Dangerous Dave with us, the Luke the Rebel without a clue, and me, the amiable, affable mailman. And we were going to do a little bit of reminiscing about birds, like our least favorite, our favorite birds. And
the ones you like to eat.
The ones you like to eat, yeah.
Ones you like to shoot, ones you like to listen to.
I'll tell you, a little earlier between
all
the
about
breaks,
birds.
Dangerous Dave was talking about the red-winged blackbird.
Yeah.
And he was saying that they did a big eradication on the big red-winged blackbirds. And I don't know why they did that, but I used to work with a bunch of juveniles, and we'd go into the Myakka State Park on work details, and they had a problem at Myakka State Park with these buzzards. Buzzards. And they had traps. Big, elaborate traps. I mean, the size of this room, where they expected the bird to walk into the trap, get lost in the trap, and then they were going to capture the bird and transport him to another park.
Like he couldn't find his way back.
Yeah. And I said, why don't you just kill him? And he says, where's the law against killing them? There's a law against killing buzzards?
Oh, yeah.
Got to have buzzards.
Well, that don't make any sense. Wasn't there a law about those red-winged blackbirds?
The red-winged blackbird, according to the project, was called Bye Bye Blackbird. It was started in 1990.
That's a good one.
And they decided that the red-winged blackbird was an avian pest.
Well, like the buzzards ain't an avian pest. I mean, those things, if you go down Kings or Veterans Parkway in Punta Gorda or Port Charlotte, and those big lights, they set on top of those lights, you know. And if you drive under those lights, you know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Bombs away.
Wash your windshield. And you know what they're doing to the top of those lights. And that stuff is probably rusting everything out, and you know, the product.
Well, those are mercury vapor lights.
Yeah.
And they get pretty hot. And I imagine that
Melts
you get a big pile up there, it could probably catch on fire.
Yeah.
Wow.
It'd be another light source. And then the liberals would say, hey, that's better than wind electricity. You know, you use bird lights.
There you go.
Well, do you have a favorite or least favorite bird?
Actually, I don't care for birds. Now, we have had birds. We've had cockatiels. We've had canaries. We've had parakeets. And but one time we had a bird named Paris. Yeah, he was one of them green, one of them talking birds.
Yeah.
And he was obnoxious. He said, "Feed Paris, feed Paris. Paris is a pretty boy." Things like that.
Well, they say what you teach them.
Yeah.
And he'd walk inside his cage. He'd pace back and forth, and he'd drive me crazy, pacing back and forth. And then he'd walk up the wall. It's kind of like that cartoon, that Bugs Bunny cartoon, where the bird walks up the wall and walks across the ceiling, comes down the other wall.
Should have kept him in the cage and put a blanket over it.
Yeah, and then
shut up.
Then he'd open up his door and he'd walk out and he'd walk down the cage and he'd walk out on the floor, and I'd say, "Get back in that cage," and he'd turn around and walk back up the cage.
Well,
that's a smart, mindful bird.
Yeah, he was smart, but smart birds can be irritating. You know that?
Yeah, we had a couple of parakeets when our girls were growing up, but I don't remember any adventures with them. I know somebody had a parakeet one time for a long time, and the cage got open, and it came out there and flew right into the ceiling fan and got its neck broke.
That's cool.
Oh, that's sad.
That was pretty traumatizing for him.
Yeah.
I remember. I ain't gonna say who it is, but
did you have to get them therapists after
the owners?
No, whoever saw the accident.
The wife was hysterical. The husband didn't think much of it, but the wife was hysterical.
She's probably still got a therapist.
The husband's comment was, "I wonder what that thing tastes like fried."
Yeah.
That's exactly right. It'd take a few of them to make a mess, but when ours died, I offered to flush it down the toilet, kind of give it a burial at sea, but the kids didn't want to go with that. We had to bury him out there in a little bayhead next to my house, but.
Yeah, making a little cross and
say
like that bird is Christian, right?
You never know.
He probably was.
Yeah.
And we sang "I'll Fly Away."
Back in the day, a crow is extremely intelligent.
Yes.
And
Too
back in the
intelligent.
day, if you'd clip under their tongue, a crow could learn to talk.
Clip under their tongue.
Yeah, their tongue is kind of held down to the bottom
Oh,
of their
they're
beak.
tongue-tied?
Yeah, you got this little thing underneath your tongue. If you feel it there, it's like
Yeah.
a little.
Well, if you clip that
Tendon
where that
thing.
tongue will move,
Yeah.
he learns to talk, and he learns to talk fast
Whoa,
and
yeah,
well,
yeah,
better
and,
to parrot.
And it's cuss words that he's saying when you clip
Well,
that.
it's like
Oh,
Gary,
but-
send him again.
two stories that I remember from my childhood that were told to me. One was told to me by my grandfather,
Yeah.
and they had a crow that was at the general store, and he was like the lookout.
Yeah.
And my grandfather and his buddy went into the store, and they were going to buy something, and they had apples on display. And my grandfather picked up the apple and looked at it, and that crow hollered, "Hey, Roy!" That's the name of the guy. This Peckerwood's back here stealing these apples. And then
Oh.
I had an aunt that she had a crow, and like you said, the crow learned to curse,
Yeah.
and he would curse and catcall.
Yeah.
And wait for someone to get mad, thinking it was a person, and come through the gate, and then the crow would sick the dog on him.
Yeah. Now, if the preacher showed up and the crow went talking like that, the preacher would know where he learnt that.
Well, that branch of the family, the preacher didn't come visit too often. But
Yeah, I really don't care for birds, although we've had them. But the crows, they are smart. I was impressed because when I was a little bitty boy, and the devil called my name, I went hunting one night. We stayed in the cabin with a friend of mine overnight, and we were hunting groundhogs. Now, why we were hunting groundhogs, I ain't got a.
they're
I
delicious.
guess because up in Ohio they were just plentiful, and then you just wait till they stick their head up out of the hole and you shoot them, But anyway, we got up in the morning, we heard these crows outside, and my friend said, "Hey, you know that these crows are really smart." He says, "Watch this," and he opens up the door, and he walks outside, with nothing in his hand or anything. He just walks outside, and then the crow's going crow, caw, 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 crow, crow, whatever that word is they say. And he comes back into the cabin. And he said, "Watch this." And he picks up his rifle, and he walks out the door, and the crows fly away.
They knew he
pretty
had
smart.
a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smarter than we think.
Whoa. That's spooky to think that they're that smart.
There used to be an old man that worked at a hardware store here, and he had a crow that lived at his house, and the crow would follow him to work, fly along with him, and when sit outside in a tree or something, they got ready to go home, and the crow would fly home with him, whatever. And he told me about that, and I didn't believe it. So he said, you come by about 5 o'clock. So I went by at 5 o'clock, and he said, "Get my truck." So I loaded up in there, and I flew we went to his house, and the crow followed there every step of the way.
I say that crow didn't have a life.
Apparently not, or he was stalking the guy.
Or else he was ostracized from the rest of the crows.
There ain't no telling. There's his guardian angel
Yeah.
or something. But my favorite bird is probably fried chicken.
Yeah.
That's probably
Colonel's yard bird.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that's my spirit animal too. Is fried chicken.
Fried by what venue or who by who?
Oh, my wife.
Good. That was good of you.
Well, I like him. I like Popeye's fried chicken.
Oh yeah.
I wish we
we
need
need-
a fried chicken place here. Which
Somebody
we don't
tells
have.
me that's a Popeyes going in there.
It is
Okay.
down there on Kings Highway.
Kings
down there.
Highway.
Next to the racetrack down there.
Yeah.
Yep, long skinny building. Kind of looks like our Taco Bell the way it's built.
That's what it looks like.
Long skinny building.
But I know it can't be because there's right across the street there's a Taco Bell.
Yep. So it's
Oh my goodness, we're running out of time.
running out of time. About time to fly the coop here.
Yeah.
Didn't talk about too many birds. Maybe we can come back and talk about some more.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We can talk about them. We got about 30 more seconds or whatever. So
Well, let's bring up another bird subject here.
another bird subject.
Well, we're talking about birds.
Bird. The bird is the word.
Yeah.
I don't think we got time to talk about it now.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
going to get on out of here. So
All right.
don't get your feathers ruffled. So stay put, stay on your perch, and we'll be back in a short.